Hello, my name is Deserae, or Avocado Circles, and welcome back. Today I tackled a very ambitious drawing. Extremely ambitious. This girly pop took like 14 hours real time. And I streamed the whole thing on Twitch, so if you want to follow me over there, my schedule is extremely chaotic, but I do stream art and sometimes play video games on there. I'm going to give you some much needed context for what is happening. I decided that since the day of recording was October 1st, I needed to draw something kind of Halloween. You know, kind of spooky, kind of fun, kind of whimsical. And the best thing I could come up with was Halloween party, but if it was run by a mafia. That was my theme. That was what I was going with. That was my artwork. That was the whole basis of what you're about to be seeing here. I had an unbelievable amount of fun drawing this composition. I won't spoil too much because very quickly it turns into something much more fun than even what I'm letting on. But be forewarned, there's like no Halloween elements in this artwork at all. However, it is still very, very cool. It took me 3 days and I'm so proud of it. I don't think I could express that enough. For quite a while in the beginning of this drawing, I didn't know where it was gonna go, or even like what was actually going to take place in the drawing, but as you're about to hear from past Deserae, she figures it out. Wait, that's like right in the ear. That's like lethal. I don't want it to be lethal, I just kind of want it to be mean. Anyway, I could imagine like this guy seems like he's used to it. Bro's been to this, like, location before. And he's like, you know, if I just, like, don't do anything out of the ordinary, nothing's gonna happen. I'm just gonna drink my little drink. This guy I think's new-ish. But, like, kind of like a no BS type of dude. Or maybe he's annoyed because maybe this guy's his friend. Ooh, wait. He's annoyed, right? Because his friend right here can't stop getting into fights. That's what it is. That's what I'm going with. You know, if I actually, like, watched any media at all where people were fighting, I think I'd understand the anatomy a bit better. But that just kind of looks like he just, like, very gently put his fist on his face. How do I make this more impactful? I think he looks pretty impacted. Maybe I have to change the whole angle of this guy. As you can tell, I kind of struggled with that pose a lot. I went through a lot of reworks, a lot of resketching certain parts, a lot of trying to change the angles of things to make the punch actually look impactful, which was honest to God a lot more difficult and challenging than I thought it would be. But I'm pretty happy with how the pose looks. I'm gonna be saying that the whole time. Look, girl, when you spend like 14 hours on something, you're kind of proud of it after a while. Now, I guess the question would be, do I want people behind them to kind of be like for there like to be like a group of people? Can I say like any more times in a single sentence? Oh my gosh. At this point in the drawing, I was less concerned about the poses and more trying to figure out the composition, like what things I would have in the foreground, middle ground, and background, and also just like spacing of the people and tables and stuff. I also question if I should have people in the background, which obviously, ultimately, I decide yes, I should. Honestly, this might be a good enough starting sketch. I duplicated the canvas just so I could grab everything and resize it to what I need. Blow it up! I don't want to blow up my canvas! I will, however, make the drawing in it bigger. Big sketch! Oh, it's so cool. This is gonna be such a cool artwork. I'm so excited. Okay. Hot women fighting. Do it. Okay. I just gotta figure out, like, yeah, because I kinda had the imagery of these guys absolutely being men. So, I'll do it. Just for you, Enfys. Now I just gotta figure out what these hot women look like. Watching back on my drawing process always makes me feel a little bit, like, strange about how I draw, especially considering that I don't typically even draw like this. Usually I just kind of draw a sketch, clean it up, and call it a day, so watching myself, like, do, like, a really loose sketch and then just drawing line art straight on top of it, kind of strange. Especially because I literally have to erase, like, all the muscles I was drawing here. Like, girl, that's a lot of work just to, like, get rid of it. I like the focus I put on the person's face, though. It really looks like that punch is, like, landing in there. I'm very glad I spent such a long time trying to figure that out, because I really think it ended up really nice in the end result. I'm having an unfortunate I want this to be a man, but that's actually really good. It's actually really good because that means a woman gets to punch the hell out of a man. I actually like that quite better. These guys, these three all being guy friends, and this woman just comes up and rocks this guy. That brings me some amount of joy. Bro must have said something that justified that reaction. Oh, absolutely. So, that guy actually is one of Goosebox's characters, as we discover a little bit later. He is an interesting fellow. He likes to push people's buttons in order to learn new things. And unfortunately, sometimes that has severe and negative consequences, but he always ends up fine. It's okay. He's okay. I end up drawing him with his actual friends, Grayson and another unnamed character. Grayson and Kenneth have known each other for quite some time. You could argue Grayson has grown used to Kenneth's antics, but Kenneth always finds a way to surprise him. Not this time, though. Not this time. My keekee! She jumped up with me! What a good girl. They have the pretty. Shadow, you hear that? They think you're pretty. You're so gross. I love you. She's my beautiful, beautiful girl. You're so weird. I love you. Need me a kitty cat. The system will find you one eventually. After petting my cat for I didn't pay attention to how long, I jumped right back into the drawing. This time with a reference on hand for what Kenneth is supposed to look like, because I struggled with this hair a little too long earlier. I flesh out some details for this woman that we don't know the name of. I start drawing Grayson. He has a little cup in his mouth. I was really amused with how I was actually drawing Grayson, because I didn't draw his hand holding up the cup for like a long time, so it just kind of looks like his cup's levitating in his mouth, which is really amusing. I tried really hard to focus on composition still, focus on how posing would work with the chairs and how a character would sit with their feet on like the rings of a chair or a stool down there. I also spent a lot of time trying to figure out what I wanted this boy to look like. And also, like, what a pointed ear would look like from the side. I wanted this guy to be, like, kind of tough looking, but also fit in with his friends a little bit. I always end up making characters look like really cool and then never ever drawing them again. So guys, I need you to hold me accountable. I need to draw this guy again because I love him. I need to give him a name, a reason to exist in the story other than just being Grayson and Kenneth's friend, and draw him again. His design is so swag. Kenneth is absolutely not the only person she scraps with. She seems like she has a reputation for mess with me, get clobbered. Absolutely she does. The type of person where you could like cough one too many times in the same room as her and she's like, can you stop? Get it out of your system. Dang, more short-tempered than Casey. How is this possible? Because she would be a friendly friend and commit some atrocities, I think. I mean, her tattoo, I don't know what it means. And getting to know her a little bit better, I'm a little nervous. Theories. Each marks for how many people she's hospitalized. Each marks how many times she's been kicked out of a bar. Something to do with Samira's line of work. Ooh. Amount of times she's been kicked out of a bar is objectively funny. Maybe the first two theories are cover-up stories when people ask. I like that. She's giving bodyguard. She's stacked! She is. It feels like she could be like, yeah, I used to be a bouncer at bars. Or like, I used to like guard expensive stuff at museums, you know? She has a lot of like previous work, I think. How long has she done each thing? Nobody knows. She's not old enough to have done it for like decades though. She does objectively odd jobs, I guess. I think. And then has finally ended up with Samira. And evidently does not like Kenneth that much. Or maybe this is her first time meeting Kenneth, doesn't know that they work together. Grayson. At a certain point, she gave up trying to throw me out because I immediately just popped back in. Really? No, dude. You think I'm dumb enough to try anything that could piss her off? I really enjoyed learning more about the woman to the left here as the stream continued. Me and Goosebox, my fiance, we've been working on a story together for the past like 3 years, and we still absolutely love thinking about it and talking about it together. So whenever we do make a new character like this, it's always so fun to think about how they'd interact with our other pre-existing characters. We've got a new artist in town. She's very good at what she does. From this point forward, I was very locked in. Super focused on the task at hand, which was to complete the line art for this before my partner got home from work. Daunting task, especially because at this point I had 30 minutes. So I had 30 minutes to complete the background of this drawing, which, spoiler alert, I don't do. And the second spoiler alert, I have to push it to a second video because this video is already getting kind of long for what I'm trying to go for my channel. All in all, I remember being so proud of the progress I made on this first day. I spent 6 hours streaming on Twitch, so if you want to follow me there, I would heavily encourage you to do so. It's avocado_circles, and I'll have it in the description below for you, along with a few other things like my coffee, which you can get commissions on once I open them up, and they may already be open by the time I have this video out, so link is down there too. And also, don't forget to like and subscribe if you liked this video, and leave a comment down below what you think about what I did today. Do you think I did a good job? Do you think I could do something better? Let me know. Okay, bye. I really did not have a plan going into this. I never do.
But